5, yeah.
Due to contractual obligations, we must leave this program to bring you the following event. The heart of your teams. The heart of Atlanta. Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast. The heart of the fan.
Game 4 of the National League Championship Series. Many wondered how the Braves would recover from disappointment in Game 3. They answered with not one, not two, but 3 big bangs early. The Braves hit 4 homers and thumped the Dodgers 9-2 to take a commanding 3-1 series lead. The Braves, for the second straight year, are 1 game away from the National League pennant. As we join you from the Battery Atlanta, Braves Live Postseason Edition is presented by Xfinity. What a night for the Braves out west at Dodger Stadium as we welcome you to our stage set. Chip Carey, Nick Green, Paul Bird, Brian Jordan. Deja vu all over again, fellas. This time, though, the Braves came out on top. They answered a lot of doubters the way they came out in Game 4, and now they stand at the precipice of the National League pennant again.
We've been waiting for this offense to really come out big and swing the bats really well. I felt like they did a great job today. I know that LA, they had their pitching a little bit messed up, especially after Max Scherzer closed Game 5 of the NLCS, and all of a sudden now you use a bullpen day in Game 1. You try it again later in this series. Urias, yes, he pitched in relief, didn't have his best stuff, and I think the Braves knew that, took advantage of it, and I love the way he swung the bat. I love the way this pitching staff really came together today as well.
You heard Chip say Dodger Stadium. I want to tell you right now, Dodger Stadium is not the place to be. It's right here in Battery, Atlanta. Everybody going nuts. This is a different team. Drew Smiley, lights out. Rosario, some unsung heroes tonight. That's been the trademark of this team, bouncing back, some unsung heroes. We saw it again in Game 3. It was beautiful.
You know, I talked about how important it was to score early. After losing that momentum last night in the big comeback by the Dodgers, it was so important for these guys to score early. Rosario got it started, back-to-back home runs, and all of a sudden, I said, we got that momentum back. And how good was Smiley? Unbelievable. Didn't even make the divisional roster, and he comes back huge in this ball game tonight.
Well, as we see so often in a playoff series, it's not always the stars that come up big. It's the understudies, the unexpected heroes, and one of them was Eddie Rosario tonight, guys. Yeah. Obviously, with the 4-hit night, he's our fourth key to victory.
You know, he was unbelievable, and this guy has done it all playoff long. He had 4 hits before, and he starts it off going, Alpo Taco, guys. Unbelievable. It was just awesome, and here it is. He's driving the ball down the line, and look at his speed. Here, Betts kind of bobbled the ball, and Rosario just rolling out. An easy triple. He got the early part out of the way with a triple and a home run, and here's that single, Nick.
Hey, BJ, you know, he didn't need to get the double. He wanted to go deep one more time.
Yeah, baby!
I love it, too, and his swing looks so good. He's so confident right now. I love the way he's playing baseball. You want him in that game every single day. Yes, he's done a great job in the leadoff spot. Today they moved down to the 5th spot, and he gets it done with 4 RBIs. 4 hits, 2 home runs. I said this when he came over. I felt like he would be a big part of this team. Didn't know where he would necessarily fit in when he got back healthy. Well, he's been huge for this club late in the season and really, really big in the postseason.
First player in LCS history to have multiple 4-hit games in one series. I think it's safe to say that Eddie Rosario is on pace for MVP honors. Should the Braves finish off the Dodgers, they've got 3 shots at doing that. Speaking of tonight's hitting hero, Eddie Rosario standing by with Kelly Kroll out in Los Angeles. Kelly?
Eddie, a 4-for-5 night, 2 home runs, a triple, a single. What's it like to have a night like that on this stage?
De verdad, muy emocionado de estar aquí y poder ayudar al equipo a ganar. Creo que a este equipo no se le puede dar break de dejarlo que ellos vuelvan para atrás. Y mi enfoque es tratar de ayudar al equipo a hacer las más carreras posibles, y eso es lo que hemos logrado hoy.
Really emotional and excited to have this opportunity to be here. You know, as far as with the Dodgers, you just can't get give this team a break. You can't give them any chance to bring back. So for me, I was just glad that I was able to help the team in the way that I did, and we were able to get that win tonight.
That second home run, what were the reactions like from your teammates?
Everybody waiting for double. Everybody waiting for double. I want to hit in double, but homer 3 RBI is better. The team is more comfortable to win the game.
I was going to say, I know you want the double, but you can't knock a second home run.
No, but it's okay. I feel happy.
Well, Eddie, this team is 1 win away now from reaching the World Series. What's it going to take to finish the job here in Los Angeles?
I think tomorrow is coming more strong. Not comfortable, play hard, try to win the one more game.
I'm going to say it's a 5 for 5 night because you did this in English. I'm so proud of you. So happy. Thank you
so much. Thank you.
You guys.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Eddie Rosario, for taking the drama out of Game 4. And as I said in our opening comments, if there was any doubt about how this Braves team has handled adversity all year, tonight is why this team won the East and why they're in position to knock off the Dodgers this year.
I love this team as a whole. I think they do a great job of coming together and picking each other up, and that's what we've seen in this postseason. This team, to me, is built for a long run in the postseason. We've seen it so far. Yeah, the Dodgers are supposed to win this series, but the Braves are saying no. They're taking advantage of mistakes. They had a couple of walk-offs in the first 2 games. Now everything is starting to look even more like the Braves had the advantage.
We're going to talk about players, and rightfully so. They won the game. They did great. I want to talk about somebody that may not get the credit, Alex Anthopoulos, because when Acuna went down, there was a lot of people that worried, scared. What are we going to do? Should we trade? Should we throw in the towel? The next thing you know, we got Peterson. Then we got Duvall. And then we got Rosario. All outfielders starting that game tonight. Duvall, homer, the incredible catch. Peterson, the pearls. He has kept this team going through the ups and downs. Shout out to you if you're watching, Alex Anthopoulos. Incredible deadline moves. And now we are in the NLCS with a 3-1 lead. And those guys that you picked up are huge.
You know what the best thing about it is somebody different every night. You know, Freddie, first couple of games, strikes out 7 times or 6 times, whatever it was, but we still win the ball games. Raleigh struggling right now on the road, but we're still winning ball games. I think that's the big difference. Building the chemistry, which you said Alex Anthopoulos did a great job of. This team believes in each other, and that's the most important thing, and that's going to win more than anything. Guys believing in themselves. Smiley steps up big, hasn't pitched in 18 days, and he was the hero tonight on that pitching staff.
Something else the Braves did for the first time in this series, they played a clean game. No base running mistakes. They hit well with runners in scoring position. They issued just 1 walk. Everything went right for Atlanta, and for the first time in the series, it wasn't a nail-biter game when Atlanta blew it open late and won it by a final of 9-2. As you mentioned, Freddie Freeman had a big hand in that. He's heating up. 2 more hits for Freddie, including a home run tonight, and he, too, standing by with Kelly.
Well, Freddie, 2 for 4 night. The first time you draw a walk with Urias, the second time you step up there. Take me through that at bat. What you're looking for?
I was just looking for my plan and approach for me is to look heater up, just kind of a location to try and leave the slider alone, the curveball alone. So he threw me first pitch curveball, second pitch curveball, and then he went changeup, and I saw the changeup pretty well. So I figured he was going to go back up and away. So I was just looking for something hard and up, and I was able to get to it.
And we have talked throughout, I feel like the last couple of weeks, about kind of the unexpected heroes of postseason wins. How big tonight was 10 outs from Drew Smiley, maybe 6 outs from A.J. Mentor?
That is huge. Bullpen games are extremely hard to navigate, and when you have your plans get thrown through a wrench right before the game pretty much starts today with Ynoa getting hurt, that's another obstacle we had to overcome, just added to our list this year. And what Drew did and AJ did, it actually gave us, and we scored enough runs to give Luke Jackson and Dine off too. I mean, those guys are pitching every game, and that was huge for us to be able to give him a day off. And man, what they did today, that's absolutely humongous with Max going tomorrow.
Right, to set you guys up for the rest of this series, which, speaking of, 1 win away from possibly heading to the World Series. Freddie, what's it going to take to get the job done?
That sounds really nice when you say that.
It does, right?
Just a big game out of Max and keep going as an offense. We've been playing really good baseball for 2.5 months now, and we've been doing it all postseason long. We've been playing really good baseball, and hopefully we can continue to do that tomorrow.
Thank you, Freddie. We appreciate it. Congrats. Go enjoy it.
Thank you.
Guys.
Yeah, Freddie's right. Braves have been playing 667 baseball in regular season play. They're playing 750 baseball in the postseason. And they did all the little things tonight that at times they struggle with in the first 3 games of this series. Advancing runners, moving runners up, not striking out, putting the ball in play, and add-on runs, Nick. You know how important those are and have been for the Braves. They came out in force tonight.
Absolutely. And when you look at the strikeouts, 14 in game 1, well, they did a great job of not striking out a ton today. Yeah, they did a little bit later in the ball game, but 2-strike hitting was really good, BJ. 0-2 count, trying to go up and away, and Rosario not trying to do a whole lot. He goes the opposite field for a home run. I love that swing from here. Here's a 3-2 count to Duvall. Yeah, that was painted away, but it was up enough for him to get it up in the air. It goes 410 feet away for Duvall. Huge deal for him in the 3rd inning. How about this, BJ?
Freddie Freeman goes, yeah, that's just a good sight to see. But it was so important, and these guys understand how important it was to gain that momentum early in the ball game and really take the Dodgers out of the game early, which they did. Eddie Rosario was just on fire. Here's a triple once again, as we saw earlier. I mean, this guy's just getting it done. He is made for postseason so far. We got to be excited what we see. Jock Peterson, great at bat here. Luck's a little nervous out there in center field. He didn't want to be aggressive and make that play. You got to make that play in the playoffs. He didn't, and all of a sudden that momentum, all Braves.
So back-to-back homers for the 3rd time in postseason history for the Braves. There's a very familiar name on that list.
B. Jordan?
Hey, there it is.
Talking about Javier Lopez.
B. Jordan going, against the Mets.
Yeah, so Atlanta got early offense. Look, we know the adversity they faced. Oscar Ainoa was supposed to start the game, came down with a bum shoulder yesterday, couldn't get loose before the game today. Doctors didn't clear him. He is out for the rest of the playoffs for Atlanta. So into the fray, Paul Bird steps Drew Smyly. You talk about acquisitions that are now under the radar. Drew Smyly, when he was very, very good, was exactly that. He was a double-digit winner in the regular season for the Braves and stepped up today when the Braves needed him most.
Absolutely. Had not pitched since October 3rd. Wow, check it out. Coming into the game, the biggest game of his career in a Braves uniform, and started off, guys, looking strong. You see the breaking ball right there. He came into this game and he threw strikes. As you see him overmatching Turner up in the zone. I loved this. Only 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, but really an unsung hero in this game. Somebody that you would not have picked to be such a big difference maker coming into the NLCS, and look what happens. And I agree, this baseball game, this baseball team is about a lot of unsung heroes, and it was really nice what he did for everybody else. That only makes you stronger for tomorrow, and then the day off, and then the next 2.
8 years and 1 day for Drew Smyly between postseason pitching appearances. 8 years and 1 day. It last happened for him in 2013, Nick, with the Tigers.
It's crazy. And, you talked about that hadn't pitched in 18 days. Well, how is his stuff going to be? I felt like the fastball was live, didn't throw it a whole lot, only threw 7 fastballs on the day, which is crazy, but he lived on that curveball, and the curveball was outstanding. He went 66% curveballs. You knew what was coming, and you still couldn't hit it. Being able to throw strikes and get the weak contact, BJ, was huge for him today.
But, that's the best thing about it. I mean, the Dodgers hitters are so used to the 96, 97, and all of a sudden you change it up and bring in a Drew Smyly. They're off balance. They're out in front. I mean, guys were hitting balls to the outfield, but everybody was hitting it off the end of the bat because they changed the speed. He changed speed so well, and he gave the Braves what they needed, and I know Snick was just so delighted that he was able to go 3 1/3 innings.
4 left-handers pitched in this game for Atlanta, and the Dodgers could barely sniff anything offensively. And Atlanta has their ace left-hander, Max Fried, going tomorrow. In fact, the Braves have their rotation set up exactly how they want. Fried, Anderson, and Morton if the series gets this far. As the Dodgers face a bullpen game tomorrow, the Braves have a 3-1 series lead. A huge night for Eddie Rosario and the Atlanta offense. 9-2 your final score at Dodger Stadium. And our Braves Live postseason coverage from Atlanta will continue after our first break. Braves Live is brought to you by Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram. By Xfinity XFi, experience a powerful and secure Wi-Fi connection for all of your devices. And by Georgia Natural Gas, go green and save some too. with G&G. Plenty of parking available at Dodger Stadium. They started clearing out about the 7th inning, as they usually do. And the Braves gave them good reason. 9-2 your final. They out-hit them 12-4, and the Braves played long ball all night long to take Game 4 of this National League Championship Series. We had a lot of questions coming into Game 4. We didn't know if Enoa was going to start until earlier today, and then we found out hours before first pitch he wasn't. Boy, did the Braves pitching staff step up in Game 4 today, Paul Bird. It was really an impressive performance by all the left-handers in particular. Drew Smiley certainly as well at the top of the list.
No, you're right, and that was tough news. But Chavez right out of the gate, stepping up. Next man in. He did a great job in that first inning. Clean first inning. Incredible play by Ozzie right there. Yeah, give him a shout-out. Enter Drew Smiley. Again, you heard Nick talk about the breaking balls. That's a high heater. He did an incredible job. 3.1 innings pitched. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. There's one to Will Smith right there. And exactly what we needed. The Braves give him that little cushion. Go as long as you can, big fella. The breaking ball again. Chris Martin coming into the game. 2/3 of an innings pitched. That's the only hit he would give up. Did give up a big run right there, 2 score, but bring in A.J. Minter. Slider in. Big double play right here. Ozzie with another great play. Lower that throw just a little bit, Ozzie. It's playoffs. We all breathe heavy. Matzik coming in for the big 8th. Big strikeout. Look at the breaking ball walking off the mound. A lot of energy. Absolutely love it. Do we use Will Smith or not? Guys, we're up so big. He needed the work. Brought him in. He did a good job as well. And I know Chip Carey likes blowouts.
Yeah.
You know, I'm used to the 3-4 game. You know, the 2-1 game, sweating it out. I wasn't sure what to do in that last inning.
I was so excited about the blowout because I was so stressed out, especially when we got the 5-2 again. I was like, no way. But when Rosario goes, he put everybody to bed.
So a couple things to think about as this series now moves to Game 5. Number 1, the Braves have Max Fried, Ian Anderson, and Charlie Morton lined up for the next 3 games if the series goes that far. That's number 1. Number 2, the Dodgers, who've had to use their bullpen an awful lot in this series, have a planned bullpen game tomorrow against Max Fried. And thirdly, for this Dodger team, they lost Justin Turner. Came out with a hamstring problem in the 6th or 7th inning tonight. Don't know his status for Game 5 of the series, but Nick, that's another big bat missing for LA. If he can't go, they're already without Max Muncy.
Yeah, it's tough for them as an offense. They haven't been swinging the bat well. They weren't swinging the bat as well late in the season either. And now you lose Justin Turner. He didn't do a good job in the postseason so far, but he's one of those guys that you know can come up with a big hit. With him being out, he's one of the leaders of the team. He leads by example, and he does a great job offensively and defensively. You don't have that guy. You take Max Muncy out of the mix too. All of a sudden, that lineup looks a little bit weaker. Cody Bellinger's starting to come on, so he's helped at the bottom, but having Justin Turner hurt is going to definitely hurt this team.
And Nick, you know the great thing about this? No Justin Turner. Now you got to move Chris Taylor into third base. And Lux is back in center field, baby. Holy cow.
You got to feel bad for him, though. They're putting him in a terrible position to succeed. 10 starts at center field.
Let's see, Nick. Do I feel bad? Come on.
Individually, it's a bad thing. As far as the Braves, yeah, it's definitely an advantage, no doubt about it.
No, it's an advantage.
Yeah.
I got to call a timeout. I got to say something. I know Turner went down. That's unfortunate. The Braves were not a better team than the Dodgers in April. Now they are. Even with Turner in that lineup, they are a better team. They're a more complete team. They're gelling. Their pitching is better right now. And I know that the mighty Dodgers have a better record. But all that matters is who is hot right now, and that goes to the Atlanta Braves. You can tweet at me later for jinxing something. I'm not superstitious. They are better, and they should win this series.
And Snit is out managing Dave Roberts now.
And
because you look at the analytics of what they're doing over there, it's costing them because you're using Scherzer, Urias in situations and Buehler in situations that they shouldn't be. And now we're seeing the result. I mean, hey, give Urias a lot of credit. He went 5 innings a day, but he didn't have his best stuff. And there's a reason for that, guys.
Well, we'll see what happens. It's all there for the taking. The Braves, for the second straight year, have a 3-1 series lead over the Dodgers, and they've got their ace, Max Fried, pitching Game 5 in Los Angeles tomorrow night. Be the first to know when the Braves go on sale for potential World Series games at Truist Park. Becoming a Braves insider, you'll get free highlights, ticket offers, and more delivered straight to your inbox. Go to Braves.com/newsletter to sign up today. Atlanta 9, LA 2. Dodgers didn't give their first hit tonight until the bottom of the 5th inning. It was all Atlanta. Yes, indeed, they played a clean game. The defense sparkled as well. We'll break that down as we break down Game 4 in LA next. Braves Live is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, by Cook's Pest Control. You don't have to live with pests. And by Visit Mississippi. Wanderers are welcome. Braves 9, Dodgers 2. Julio Urias started for LA again on short rest after pitching in Game 2 of this NLCS. And boy, the Braves have roughed him up. 6 innings, 7 earned runs, 11 hits allowed to Atlanta in the series. And Urias, the lone 20-game winner in the big leagues, addressed the media in LA just a few moments ago.
Julio, you guys were in this position last year, down 3-1. How did last year's learning prepare you guys now for what the rest of the series could look like?
El último año estaba en la misma posición. ¿Qué es lo que aprendiste del último año y cómo te va a ayudar cómo le va a ayudar al equipo este año?
Bueno, el año pasado lo hicimos, ¿no? Y nunca agachamos la cabeza. Yo pienso que es lo más importante. Ellos se sienten con toda la confianza. Nosotros nos podemos sentir, se podría decir, un poco tristes o que no fue nuestra noche, pero mañana es otro juego más y simplemente hay que dar el 100% de cada uno. Tenemos un tremendo talento y como lo dije, o sea, nunca agachar la cabeza y nunca rendirnos. O sea, esa es la frase, una de las frases personales mías, el nunca rendirse es lo más importante.
Yeah, last year we did it, not to lower our heads, not to feel bad about ourselves. Obviously, they're playing with a lot of confidence, but we have to come out tomorrow and play a game. We have another game tomorrow. We have a great team here, and we have a great opportunity to do something special.
One last one right here.
What did you know about Eddie Rosario? Have you faced him before? And were you? They're all surprised at what he did tonight.
¿Qué sabías de Eddie Rosario antes del juego? ¿Lo has pichado contra él antepasado? ¿Y qué te sorprendió algo que hizo esta noche?
Bueno, este año he tenido un poco más de oportunidad de lanzarle y obviamente es un bateador que está caliente, o sea, hay que tomarlo de esa forma, está muy caliente. O sea, el tercer hit que me conectó, cruzamos miradas y obviamente sí fue como una sonrisa de parte de él hacia mí, no como diciendo, pues, o sea, todo me sale y hay que tomarlo de esa forma. O sea, es un tremendo jugador, un tremendo bateador y está en su momento. O sea, hay que darle crédito a él que está haciendo un buen trabajo y hay que tomarlo de esa forma. Esperemos si mañana mis compañeros y todo el bullpen lo apaguen y eso es lo que esperemos.
Yeah, I didn't face him a lot until this year. Obviously, this year I got to see him a little bit more, and he's just a high hitter, a good player. He made those adjustments today, and he was just making the contact. Even on that double or that triple, he kind of smiled at me after he hit it in there, just because it was just one of those things where it's just a hot hitter, and he kind of knows what he's going. Hopefully tomorrow our guys are able to make those adjustments and get him out.
Thanks, Julio.
Gracias.
The managerial moves and all the decisions the Dodgers have made to pitch their starters in, shall we say, unconventional ways really has backfired for them. You might remember Corey Knebel started Game 1, went an inning as the opener. Since then, the Braves have seen Scherzer, Buehler, and Urias. That trio has pitched 13 innings, guys. They've allowed 11 runs to the Braves.
It's been interesting the way they matched this thing up. I mean, and I go back to Max Scherzer pitching Game 5. If he doesn't pitch Game 5, I think things are completely different. He goes Game 1 of the series. Knebel does not start that. All of a sudden, now you look 5 games in, and they've thrown 40 different pitchers. So, yeah, they're tired, no doubt about it. The starting rotation hasn't been there, and the Braves have taken advantage. But this is not what I expected out of this Dodgers team.
I don't think it's what Dave Roberts expected, and he's the man, of course, who has to answer all the questions. Hey, why did you set your rotation this way, and why hasn't it worked? Perhaps some of those answers will come right now as he's standing by to meet the media at Dodger Stadium.
Smiley came in after the clean inning from Chavez, through 3 innings, and it was all curveball. He was striking it down below at the bottom of the zone. Then we were unfortunately chasing, and after that they go to a couple of their big boys, and outside of that inning that we built, and AJ had a nice at bat right there, the base hit to score 2. We just really didn't threaten, and I just really don't have an answer. I think that they just outplayed us in all facets.
Would you consider maybe some lineup decisions, some different lineup for tomorrow to try and shape things up a little bit?
Well, it's going to look different than tonight. Obviously, Justin will be out. They're going to throw Freed. So have Cody out there in center field. And Pujols will be in there. So that in itself will look a little different. As far as construction, I'm going to still think through that.
Okay. On the left here, Kyle.
Dave, the Braves have held you guys to 4 hits twice in this series, 2 runs twice in this series. What are their pitchers doing to hold you guys in check relatively?
Relatively, they're getting strike one, and they're expanding. And I think, conversely, they're being aggressive early. And, they had a plan that there was some shift busting going on, using the other side of the field, being on the fastball and pulling it so it's kind of hunting certain zones. But as far as us, I just think that they're doing a good job getting ahead.
Far right, Alden.
Hey, Dave, you know this well. It takes a lot physically, mentally to overcome a 3-1 deficit this time of year. To attempt to do that without Justin Turner and everything he sort of represents for you guys, how much more difficult does that make it?
Honestly, I'm thinking about, and I expect our guys to think about tomorrow and tomorrow only, Alden. Looking at how we're going to be able to prevent runs tomorrow, and it's going to be a bullpen game. I feel very confident, and now it's, on the other side is how we're going to attack Freed, who's throwing the baseball well, and he's their ace.
I think it's safe to say that Dave Roberts and the Dodgers are a little shell-shocked, and that's understandable. Look, you line up Max Scherzer, you line up Walker Buehler, you line up Arias. You don't expect to be down 3-1 in this series, but that's exactly what happened, and Roberts outlined some of the reasons why.
It's crazy. I mean, you guys know this. You have to manage off a field to a degree. Well, they're not letting him do that at all. And I feel like that he's kind of hamstrung with how he's managing. Yes, some guys have been hurt. Guys have underperformed. But right now, like you said, BJ, he's being outmanaged by Brian Snitker in a big, big way.
And it's a tough situation for those guys. This is not the same team as last year where you had the Kershaws, the Muncies, and all those guys. They don't have them right now. So, when you lose a big pitcher down the stretch like Kershaw, it's tough to recover from that. And right now, because of the analytics, he's trying to play match, and that's tough to do. And you're using the bullpen, you're using starters in situations that they're not used to because that's all you have. And I think it was a big mistake by using those starters, but it's coming back to bite those guys right now.
And how badly do they miss Clayton Kershaw?
Yeah.
Trevor Bauer, David Price, 3 Cy Young Award winners that are not available to pitch for myriad reasons for the Dodgers. And boy, they sure could use them in this series down 3-1. But the Braves sure could use another great night from Freddie Freeman. They got one from him tonight. And from Drew Smyly, another one of those unsung heroes for the Braves in their Game 4 victory. They're at the podium. Let's hear their reactions to the Braves' 9-2 victory tonight.
Hey guys, congratulations on the win. Freddie, you kind of struggled in the first couple of games as far as the hitting, but it seemed like you kind of emerged in the last couple of games. What turned it on for you? What changed for you as far as just the hitting and being able to get on base?
I've done nothing different. It's just baseball. I had a couple bad games, and the last 2 games have been good. I haven't done anything different.
Okay, second row here, Dave.
Freddie, Drew, what can you guys say about what Eddie Rosario has done for you guys, and especially tonight in this huge game?
Yeah, this whole postseason, he's been pretty much unbelievable. When we traded for him, he was hurt, and took about a month for him to get going. And you knew what kind of player he was. And 2 years ago, he hit 30-plus home runs. So he's just been looking so good at the plate, seeing everything well, hitting balls hard. And it's just a huge game, and especially this whole series so far.
And just if I could follow, what did you think of the bullpen game tonight, especially what Drew did?
Yeah, bullpen games are, in my opinion, extremely hard to navigate, especially when you have a wrinkle thrown before the game even started, and just another obstacle for this team to overcome, like we've done all year. What Drew did, what AJ Minter, just absolutely huge. And for the offense to score enough runs to be able to give Luke Jackson a day off is huge as well. These guys have been pitching every single day, high leverage situations, and for Drew to take the ball and give us those outs today was huge.
Straight back, Mark.
Drew, what was your expectation when the game started? Are you saying, hey, look, that's going to be me when Lux and Bellinger come up there? And is your goal to take it all the way until they come up again at least?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to have Lux no matter what. Until Xavi's spot came up, he was going to face Will Smith. But when the spot came up into the second, I just had the whole inning, and I just took it like any other game. Just get every out I can until they take the ball from me.
Far left, Kyle.
Freddie, back at the All-Star game, you guys have just lost Acuna. Ian Anderson had just gone down the shoulder. I remember you talking about if we can just stay alive, stay afloat. You guys were 52 and 55 on August 2nd. Now you're one game away from the World Series. Just what do you make of the way this team kind of stayed afloat and then turned it on and to be now here where you are?
Yeah, I think like Dave and Mark and Kevin, Gabe, everyone that's covered, we've been saying it all year. We had a good team. We just never really got it going, and it seemed like one obstacle after another. We lost Travis d'Arnaud. We lost Ronald. Ian goes down. We had some things that just were not going our way. I got off to a bad start. Things just kind of were going haywire, and we were treading water, and that's all we needed to do until Alex went out and got us a whole new outfield. He really did, and this team has been completely different from the last two and a half months. We've been playing 630, 640 win percentage baseball, so this isn't anything new to us. We've been a really good team for a really long time, so we've just been playing really good baseball lately.
Straight back in the middle.
Drew, you made your last start here. It was obviously rough with the home runs and everything, and now to be back here and have a game like tonight, is that pretty satisfying for you from that standpoint?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you're gonna have bad starts when you're making 30 starts across the season. I shook that start off the next day, and I was ready to pitch, and I've just been trying to make the most of my opportunities. So I was excited to get back out there today and have another chance at them.
Okay, far left.
Freddie, following up what you were just talking about earlier, what about this postseason feels different to you, team-wise?
Well, I mean, when you can run our starters out there, Charlie Morton, Max Fried, Ian Anderson, our bullpen has been pretty much lights out for about a month and a half, 2 months now. You feel really good about the pitching standpoint and how the offense has been swinging the bat for a couple months now, pretty much since the second half. Things have just been going well, and then you lose Jorge, who's been our leadoff hitter for a couple of weeks, and then that happens, and then Eddie slides in and seems to get 4 hits every game. It's just things have been just going really well as a team standpoint, and it's just hard to not look at it and say that this is a good team. So it's been fun to be a part of. It's just I feel like we're a pretty complete team going forward.
Okay, in the middle there, Maria.
Freddie, you guys were up 3-1 in the CS last year. What feels different about the position that you're in this year, being 3-1 again?
2021. 2020 was last year. This is a whole different team, a whole different thing. So if anybody's thinking about 2020, I think everybody wants to be in a 3-1 lead. So we'll take it, and hopefully we got Max going tomorrow, so we're feeling pretty good.
Over on the left there, Zach.
Yeah, for both of you, speaking of Max, what do you think it's going to be like for him tomorrow, his hometown, pitching with a chance to send you guys to the World Series?
I'm sure he's pumped about it. I think Max lives for these type of games. He loves to take the ball and have the moment. He's one of the most prepared pitchers I've ever been around. I'm excited to watch him tomorrow.
Yeah, the last 3 years, Max is, pretty much coming to an ace starter. So what he's done in the second half and pretty much over the whole course of the season after the first, couple weeks, every time you see number 54 on that mound, you got a real good feeling.
Far right.
Fred, it's been 22 years since the Braves have made it to the series. This time tomorrow you could be on your way. What's it like to be this close?
That sounds good. I like that. We were close last year too, so I was very young when they went the last time they went. So we got a good team. We're playing really good baseball, and hopefully we can take this thing home and get to the World Series.
Straight back on the right, Scott.
Yeah, Freddie, as hot as Rosario has been this whole postseason, what's he brought to your clubhouse? What kind of guys what's he like in the clubhouse? And as hot as he is, are you Are you guys staying out of his way? Are you teasing him about something?
I don't think anybody has any like stitches like that. We're all pretty close in the clubhouse, especially in this clubhouse. It's not very large, so we're pretty close in there. So, you know, Eddie's been great, you know, for a long time now, and he just, when you get that kind of hotness, it's a good feeling. And you know, I was on second base for the last home run, and he swung under a 1-0 splitter. It's very hard to do, to swing under a splitter, and he did it, and then he didn't swing under the next one. So those are those things where you just hope they last as long as they last, because it's a pretty good feeling as a hitter, and he's a great person, fit perfectly into our clubhouse, and things are just really going well.
Okay, we'll do a couple more.
Drew, you talked about how much you were a Braves fan growing up, and your dad. Have you had a chance to talk to your dad, and what did this postseason moment mean to you with all the memories you probably had of Braves playoff memories of the past?
I mean, anytime you're in the postseason, you have a chance to play to go to the World Series. It's a thrill for a player. That's what we all play for. You know, you look forward to these opportunities, and you want to just seize the moment and do the best you can. So to be sitting here knowing that the Braves are one game away from making it, you know, after all those years, I think everyone in the locker room is pretty excited, but we know there's a lot more work to do, and we got to finish it off.
Okay, back row left. There you go.
Freddie, you say that you haven't changed anything. You've had kind of these swings in the last, 5 games from the home run to these last 2. How do you not change things, or how do you not let it affect you when you have that kind of stretch in those first 2 games when everybody's watching and it's such a big stage?
Yeah, well, when you win those 2 games, it makes it a lot easier. So it's 8 at-bats. I've done worse over more than 8 at-bats in my career. So that's the thing. It's 2 games, and, you just, I was shown video and shown that there is nothing different. It just makes you just keep doing your work, and good things are happening. I've been doing this a long time, so I've been 0 for 8, and I will be 0 for 8 again at some point. Again, hopefully not this postseason, but it is what it is. Baseball is hard. It's a round bat and a round ball coming really hard. So sometimes you're not going to hit the ball sometimes. So I've been able to do that the last couple games though.
Okay, thanks.
As Freddie Freeman said, it is 2021, and this team is more than just Freddie Freeman. And this team has a 3-1 series lead over the Dodgers with a chance to clinch tomorrow night. And if they do that, we will bring it to you on our Braves Live postseason edition after each and every game, as long as the Braves continue to battle on in this 2021 postseason. Join us on Valley Sports and live on the Valley Sports app. Braves wrapped out 6 extra base hits. They snap a 10-game losing streak at Dodger Stadium. They hit 4 homers in a 9-2 rout of Los Angeles. It's a 3-1 series lead for the Braves, who are 1 win away from the National League pennant tonight. Braves Live is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. And by Truist. BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist. The parking lot at Dodger Stadium cleared out early because the Braves hit homers early and late. They bash LA 9-2 to take a 3-1 series lead. It was an outstanding performance from A.J. Minter and Drew Smiley in relief for Atlanta. Let's hear more about that. Braves manager Brian Snitker is at the podium.
Snit, when you mapped out the bullpen game, did this go like you thought, better than you thought?
Probably a little better. I think, what Drew did was awesome. Just stretching like he did. I really honestly didn't expect him to stay in that game that long. But, he was throwing good. The situations were right. His stuff was crisp. But I thought, honestly, in the beginning, I thought, 3's great, 2 would be really good. And the biggest part, too, I probably was Minter. Them 2 innings he got was huge for us.
Okay, Maria, middle.
Sniv, what can you say about Eddie Rosario tonight?
Yeah, Eddie's been in the moment here. I'll tell you what, he's liked this postseason play, that's for sure. And good for him. He's really just great at bats. I looked up and I told Walt, I was like, this, he's a double away from the cycle again. And then he hit a homer, so that's better. So, no, he's had a really good postseason.
Far left, Zach.
Snit, the Dodgers have won, I think, 6 straight elimination games going back to last year, and even this game a long time. What makes the closeout situation just so hard?
It is hard. I mean, as we saw last year, winning a game is hard, especially a veteran team like this that we're playing. And number one, it's hard to win here. Number two, it's hard to win a major league game. And but I feel good about our club just from what we experienced last year and where these guys are.
Can I go right here to Kyle on the left?
You guys, since the trade deadline, have the third best record in the majors, behind only the Dodgers and the Giants. Eddie Rosario tonight also is huge. But how did all these additions just transform you guys, both in the clubhouse as well as on the field?
No, in all aspects. It's like I say, it started with Jock when Ronnie went down. That Alex went out and got him and showed these guys that we're not going to, sit and hang our heads. We're going to go for this thing. And then at the trade deadline, we got 3 major league outfielders, everyday guys. Now we got 4 of them, and I got to figure out how to make that work. And Rodriguez too. I mean, we had some. Alex did an unbelievable job for our club and showed those guys that we're in this thing. We're real, and and they all fit in. That's the thing. Every one of those guys came in and assimilated into our clubhouse and our team just effortlessly. It was unbelievable how they bought into everything we were doing, the personalities and all that. It was awesome, and a credit to all those players.
Down in front here, Dave.
Snit, how good do you feel about your offense after Freddie had a couple of bad games for him, and then comes alive these last 2, and now Adam Duvall's going again after
it's
not
good.
doing much?
No, it's good. Yeah, we have a good offensive team, and like I say, that Freddie's thing was a little blip on the radar. I think we all knew eventually you don't keep an elite player down, for an extended period, and all these. We've been a pretty good offensive team all year, and. I'm really proud of the guys, how, there's a lot of talk about the game last night. It was a tough loss, it was, and how they turned the page. They turned the page.
Okay. Right there, Mark, behind. Yep.
Snit, how much more stressful is it to manage a bullpen game, and what is that satisfaction when it's over?
Yeah, it's a major league game is stressful. I mean, if it's you got Charlie Morton or a bullpen game. When we sat down before the game and kind of looked at pockets and how we were going to use guys, and like I say, all that sounds good at 4:30, and then at 6:30 and 7 o'clock, it's a totally different animal. But we do prepare for it, and so we had a pretty good idea what we were going to do going forward, and I think that served us well today. And it's tough, but that's the one time that you kind of game plan and all, and it's kind of for real. It's not waiting on the starter. We're going to do this with these guys. I mean, it's pretty much a given that what you're going to do.
Okay, Anthony at the back.
Coming out of that now, you didn't have to use Luke Jackson tonight. You used Matzik, but I know you use him every day, so I'm not sure how much that matters.
I'll probably use him tomorrow.
Well, that's kind of my question, is how do you feel about the bullpen a day?
No, we're good. It was good to get Will out there. I was glad he got an inning today. Luke's good to go. So it's you got to mix, match, scramble just because of the time of year it is, and you talk about Matzik. I thought he's probably as effective and as sharp tonight as he has been the whole postseason, and he keeps telling us that. The more I pitch, the better I feel, and the better I'll be.
Okay, on the left, Jason.
Snit, you hit 3 home runs tonight off a pitcher who hadn't given up 3 home runs in a game in 5 years. You ever constantly amazed by the unpredictability of baseball?
Yeah.
And also all the ways that your team finds to win?
No, I mean, you're right. I'm never. You never see everything. That's like I said. That's kind of what keeps us coming back, I think, because this is an unbelievable game, and you've never seen it all. You never figure it out. That's the one thing. You never figure this game out. And, Yeah, it's not something that you go in looking to do, and when it happens, it's, you know, I think more it's when it's over, you look back and it's like, wow, that just really happened. So I never doubt players. They're capable of something you've never thought possible whenever you're not even thinking about it.
Hey, Snit, could you just talk about, you know, over the years, the pitching has been so great, but I mean, the offense this year is just really strong. I mean, what's that like, having an offense when you know you can score?
Yeah, I mean, and that offense got really good at the trade deadline. I think that helped booster this offense unbelievable, because all those guys came in and did probably exactly what we hoped and more. So yeah, it's obviously it's a really nice thing to have. You know, so and yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I just know that the additions, I keep going back to that, but the additions were huge for us in our club, lengthening our lineup and making it really good.
Okay, down in front.
Yeah, Snit, Smiley had that rough start here. He's taken, you know, he's put in the bullpen. He gave you some innings there, and then for him to have a moment like tonight, what can you say about the way he's handled it?
No, I admire him so much in the professionalism and how he stays ready. He doesn't, you know, it's just he's always ready to go. And he's been through a lot. He's been a big part. I mean, he won a lot of games for us. We won a lot of games that he started. And then we shied away from him. And you know, he just keeps working. It's like he'll do anything. Like I say, he's a true professional to handle situation like he has and to perform like he has. I gotta say, I got a lot of admiration for that man.
Far left, Zach.
Hey, Snit, how pivotal, I know it was early, what was Doobie's catch in the second to keep it scoreless, keep momentum on your side,
Yeah.
and then you go in the third inning and score 2 more?
No, it's good. I mean, it's all those catches like that are huge any time in a game, because it's something, if he doesn't get it, it's a homer, rattles around. I mean, just kind of can continue an inning. So that was a great play.
We'll take a couple more. There's one right here.
Brian, beyond all the roster changes and stuff that you've had this year, is there any intangible difference in this year's team right now than maybe a year ago?
No, we're a different team. We were really good last year. I think a difference is our starting pitching is more solidified this year. Our bullpen guys, like I keep saying, those guys have, I mean, all they do is answer the phone and get ready. And I ride them. I told them all they got saddle cinches on the sides because I've tightened that thing so hard riding them. They've done a great job. You know, it's the core group and the makeup of all this club is right on par from what we've had. I mean, it's cool. You know, and I think the core group of our guys make it easy for guys to come in and be a part of this. And yeah, it's just, it is. It's a great group of guys. I mean, I just respect each and every one of them so much.
I'm sorry, just a follow-up. And D'Anthony said the other day he sensed like almost like a greater belief or lack of satisfaction. The situation this year with, you know, getting to the playoffs and waiting around. I'm just wondering, as a manager, whether you sense any of that it seems different this year.
Yeah, no, it's, you know, we're more mature. Like I said earlier, I think we're a more mature team. We got a bunch of young guys that have been through these wars before, and now they're through them again, and I think that bodes well for us. I think the experiences they've had over the last 3 years in getting to this position has really matured this club, and the expectation and the fact that, you know what, we can do this. I believe all that.
Okay, we'll finish up here with Heidi in the front.
I believe Solaire's minimum 10-day stay on the COVID list ends tomorrow. Is there anything you can share about his possible return?
No, not really. I mean, I'll probably, when I get up tomorrow, I'll get a call or whatever and see what everything's going on. But I honestly don't. That's all MLB protocols and everything. When they, like I say, when I see him in the clubhouse, that'll be awesome. So I don't know when that's going to be.
Thank you, Snit.
Okay.
Brave skipper Brian Snitker discussing a 9-2 Atlanta win in Game 4. of the NLCS. The only way to guarantee your access for potential 2021 World Series games at Truist Park is by becoming an A-List season ticket member. Membership reps are available to help you secure your membership for next year and your seats for the 2021 World Series. Go to Braves.com/A-List for all the information. The Braves aren't there yet, but boy, they are in a great position. They lead the Dodgers 3-1 with Max Fried on the mound tomorrow night. We'll break that down and recap the Game 4 victory after this timeout. All right, Braves country, thanks for staying up late with us tonight. Braves win Game 4 out in Los Angeles. 9-2 is your final score. I'm Chip Carey with Nick Green, Paul Bird, still wearing the pearls I see, and Brian Jordan. Braves in command of this series. One more win to get, and then they win the pennant. Let's get to the highlights. I know you've been waiting up late to see those. It was a beautiful day for baseball at Dodger Stadium. 2-1 series lead. Freddie Freeman of the Braves looking to come back from that man's heroics in Game 3 of the series. And boy, fellas, I think it's safe to say they did that early.
Yes, they did in the second inning. How important was it to score early? Take that momentum back. How about Rosario going Apo Taco to get it all started? A solo shot. Braves up 1-0 early. I was feeling really good about this to see that home run early in the ball game. You can see it from all angles coming at you. And then Adam Duvall. We've seen it too often. He goes back to back. He goes yah. You gotta love it, folks. 2-0. The Braves take the momentum back early in the game. And then they just continue to add on, Nick.
I'd love to see Adam Duvall succeed too. We love rooting for this guy. He's done a great job all year long of driving runs in. And what he did today was huge for his confidence, getting the home run, first home run of the postseason for Duvall. And you go to the third inning, the home runs did not stop BJ. Freddie Freeman, he said he's looking for fastballs up in the zone right now. Well, he got on top of that fastball in a hitter's count, 407 feet, first home run of this series, second of the postseason. Yesterday, 3 for 4, another big day for Freddie today, 2 for 4 with a home run and a couple of RBIs. This dude is on fire right now. Then you get the Ozzie Albies line out. Austin Riley grounded out. A triple by Rosario. An intentional walk to Duvall. That set up Jock Peterson blooped in front of Gavin Lux. Guys, he should not be in center field, but we will take it all day long.
All day long.
He should have dove right there. He didn't. Chris Martin into the game, bottom 5. Braves up 5-0. Runners on second and third. A.J. Pollock. No, that's a cheap hit the other way. You can at me later. Yeah, I want to give him credit. I needed Ozzie to scoot over. He didn't do it. That's the only hiccup on the entire day for the Braves pitching staff.
How about the 9th inning? We needed some important runs. Dansby Swanson gets a single. He's still second. And how about that man once again? Freddie Freeman doubling. RBI, a double down the line. RBI. And how about Eddie Rosario? He throws him a hanging split, Nick. Come on.
Stop at second. Stop at second.
I seriously thought off the bat that was going to hit the wall, and he didn't run right off the bat. And I'm like, he's getting that double all the way. We see him pip it a little bit right there. If that hits the wall, BJ, that is a double and a cycle. But as Snit said,
forget him. I know.
A home run is better.
Forget about that cycle. You got 2 bombs, 2 yah-yahs on the day. You got to love it.
What he should have done, guys, is stop at second base, refuse to go to third base. You get kicked out of the game. You get credit for the cycle.
We've had enough adversity for one season. Right. We gladly take the 3-run homer. Braves up 9-2. That's your final. Our Academy Sports and Outdoors game summary. Can't say enough about the job Drew Smiley turned in. Hasn't pitched in almost 3 weeks. He was terrific. So was A.J. Minter, as you heard Snit say. 2 gigantic innings. Braves pound away against Julio Urias, who gave up 5 runs in 5 innings. And now the momentum shifts into the Braves' favor because the Dodgers have a bullpen game tomorrow, and Atlanta has Max Fried on the mound. And we hope to recap a pennant-winning game for the Braves, who will face the Dodgers for the final time at Dodger Stadium tomorrow night. And we will wrap it up for you. The Braves Live postseason edition comes your way here on Valley Sports Southeast and live on the Valley Sports app. Braves need 5 more wins to win a world title. They need 1 more win to advance to the World Series for the first time since 1999. They're not there yet, but trending in the right direction. Final segment from the Battery tonight. Braves win 9-2. Thanks for staying up with us late on Braves Live postseason postgame edition. Atlanta got a huge performance from its offense with 12 hits. Drew Smiley, A.J. Minter, heck, the rest of the bullpen as well did an outstanding job. And as we ponder our final thoughts, let's get the final thoughts of our reporter Kelly Kroll, who's standing by in Los Angeles with the Braves on the precipice of a series win against L.A. tomorrow night.
Well, guys, the Braves bounced back in a big way here tonight, out hitting the Dodgers 12-4. And I thought it was interesting to hear what Dave Roberts said after the game, just saying Atlanta did such a great job of being aggressive early, beating the shifts, and hunting certain zones. And it paid off to the tune of a 9-2 victory here in Game 4. Eddie Rosario, the hero at the plate, a 4-for-5 night, those 2 home runs, and Julio Urias really singing his praises afterwards, just describing how locked in he is. A hot hitter, so much so that he cracked a grin his way when he hit that triple to right field as a way of saying, man, I'm feeling it. And really, I think that is resonating through the entire Braves clubhouse. That feeling right now, being up 3-1 in this series and sending their ace, Max Fried, to the mound in Game 5. What an opportunity for the Santa Monica native, who, for as locked in as he is right now, and I think it's the most intense I've seen him all season long, he cracked a grin this afternoon when asked how many ticket requests he's been getting or that he needs for this game. And he goes, it's definitely a lot. I'm asking my teammates, everyone, because he wants his friends and family here to see him possibly close out this NLCS. He's been so good, and of course gave up just the 2 runs in 6 innings against the Dodgers in Game 1. But if I'm going to leave you with a quote, this is the one that I thought was great. Dave Roberts saying it doesn't get any harder than facing Max Fried in an elimination game. But he's not going to feel sorry for us. He expects him to go right for the jugular. How about that, guys?
Like the way you think. What in this series? Don't want to give the Dodgers any hope whatsoever. Remember all the angst about Max Fried, 6 innings, 2 runs, only 81 pitches in Game 1 of this series. Well, those pitches Brian Snitker saved, Nick, might serve him very well in Game 5 tomorrow night.
I can't wait to see him throw it. I think he's going to do a great job tomorrow. I think they're going to lock it down. Max Fried is the guy you want on the mound. This could not have set up any better. I love the way they did the bullpen game today, and everybody stepped up. The offense swinging the bats extremely well. But this is the guy. He's an ace, Paul Burt, and so is Charlie Morton. But he's your guy tomorrow to lock things up.
I like all of our pitchers going forward, but check out the hook, the emotion, the cutter, the change, the high heat, the fastball, the location, the defense, the offense. Really excited to see Max Fried take it to the house tomorrow. I want to say this. My favorite part of the whole night was the interview with Freddie Freeman. And Freddie Freeman was asking reporters out there from LA for respect. He said, ask the other guys. We're a very good team. We've been doing it all year. He looked angry. He looked frustrated. They said, what's different between this year and last year when you were up 3-1? And he says, you know what? It's 2021. It's not 2020. Again, he's aggravated. These guys have a chip on their shoulder. I hope they close it out tomorrow. And if they do, it's Waffle House on me. DJ.
You know what? I feel good about Max Fried. And I guess the best compliment you could give is Smiley. We heard his interview talk about how locked in Max Fried is, how prepared he is going into games. And we saw it the whole second half of the season. You know, he has that demeanor now. When he's on that mound, he has so much confidence. But the key is he's so prepared. I feel good about our chances of locking it up in Dodger Town
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or today. Yeah. Or today, yeah. Later
today. It's later today.
That's why you got
That's
stuck.
why I paused.
Yes, I knew that.
Well, whenever it is, let's indeed hope Max Fried has his ace stuff. This was a really, really much-needed win for the Braves. Again, considering what they went through in Game 3 of this series, they showed you what this team is all about. As I said, when they clinched the division, against all odds and against all comers, somehow this team finds a way. And with a full moon over Dodger Stadium, the Braves took care of business with a 9-2 final score. Game 5, postgame on Valley Sports South tomorrow night. Hopefully we'll be talking about a Braves pennant and a trip to the World Series. We're not there yet. It is, though, a 3-1 series lead, and the Braves have it set up. It's there for the taking, and hopefully they'll take it tomorrow night. For Brian Jordan, Paul Burt, Nick Reed, Kelly Kroll, and our entire crew, the party was on at the Battery. I'm Chip Carey. We'll see you here tomorrow night. Braves a winner 9-2. Thanks again for joining us here on Valley Sports.